Possibly the hottest day of the week is coming this Wednesday, right, Ross?
Yeah, it's looking like temperatures will be the hottest, but it's going to be nowhere near compared to the heat that we had last week. So we're not going to be dealing with, heat waves or anything quite like that. But it's definitely looking like the first 3 days of next week are going to be your best time to go to the fair, especially early and often, just because we are going to be looking at some cooler mornings ahead. So definitely looking at some improvements with our weather. We are still looking at a few showers and some heavy downpours moving across central Ohio this evening as they've been kind of popping up through the course of the day, seeing a lot of cumulus clouds kind of popping up with some of what we call the afternoon convection, which is essentially just sunshine warming things up on the surface. We're getting warm air to rise, and we see these often pleasant clouds, but sometimes they can get a little too tall, and then eventually we could see some showers. Maybe might even have a few thunderstorms as well, which was the reason why we had one of those rogue severe thunderstorm warnings far up north towards Mansfield, which still waiting to hear some of those numbers back from what the high was for the day up towards parts of northern Ohio. But 85 degrees for us here in Columbus, 87 over in Dayton, only 78 in Youngstown, and 79 in Cleveland. So cold front that came through yesterday kind of swept things through to cool things off. Something that has been cooling things off a bit, not only just with the humidity, but the fact that we've had some of these pop-ups. We've been looking at temperatures generally into the low 70s. How about over towards Cambridge? Currently 69 degrees. A little bit more activity on our radar for us, but we're not tracking any severe weather, although we are looking at some very heavy rain. It's falling just over in Coshocton. But first, I want to take a closer look here, closer to the central Ohio, down towards Delaware County, over towards Sunbury. We can see that we do have some showers that are slowly moving to the south and east. For the most part, these are going to continue to weaken over the next few hours, not anticipating anything that's really going to be bubbling up or nearly as intense as what we're looking at right over Coshocton County. Picking up a few lightning strikes as well, some very dark reds there showing that heavy rain that's going to be pushing just towards Virginia and the northern parts of Muskingum County over towards Linton within the next, I would say, 15 minutes or so. But this is going to be heading towards northern parts of Muskingum County. Might have some pea-sized hail associated with that particular storm. But other than that, things are going to be pretty much hit or miss for the remainder of the evening. Humidity-wise, it's also going to feel pretty comfortable first couple days. So definitely a great start to the week for the fair. If you are going to be going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all going to be great days. Later in the week, might be rolling the dice a little bit. But as we head into the rest of this evening, as far as the rain, we're going to continue to see isolated showers kind of pick through the area as we head into the early part of the night. I think this is kind of a little bit more widespread than what we're seeing right now. So nonetheless, we will see things wind down quite a bit as we approach 10, 11 o'clock. Of course, things will cool off too. We'll get a nice breeze out of the north. Waking up, we got temperatures that are probably going to be into the upper 50s, if not at worst, low 60s. So the humidity, that's going to be crashing down. We have a couple mornings where it's going to actually feel pretty nice out, and it's not going to be, into the mid 80s or feeling like it's near 90 degrees. Might just be feeling like it's close to 80 degrees for us as we head into the early afternoon on Monday. Nice northerly breeze keeping things dry for us. Mostly sunny skies. Temperatures probably between 82, 84 degrees. So again, looking pretty comfortable for us for this time of the year, especially towards the end of July heading into August, which looking like things will start to warm up a little bit later into the week, but just a matter of a few degrees here and there. For the most part, things are going to be looking pretty nice and looking like things are going to be wrapping up for the month of July on a very wet note, over 2 inches for us above normal for this time of the year. And of course, that's been the case, so it's nice to see the last day of the month. We'll be featuring mostly sunny skies, highs in the low to mid 80s for us, and then drier, cooler conditions again going into Tuesday morning. We're warming back up later in the week with more showers and storms returning for you Thursday into Friday.